Good morning, traders. So let's get cracking with the Dow Jones. Now, the Dow Jones is giving me quite a few mixed signals, and it's probably leading me to not trade this thing today. Okay, so firstly, this level here, where I was asking the question whether this was an exhaustion bar or not, I think we've got confirmation of that. That was an exhaustion bar. We've ended up with an inside bar, which is a bearish reversal bar. But this is the Dow Jones, and I'll take that with a large pinch of salt. Okay, so the key level that we have at the moment is this weekly Kijinsen here. Okay, and that's the area we need to worry about. Right, so on the daily. So daily, from an ichimoku perspective, the daily is fairly bullish. Okay, so we've had a break of the cloud. We are still above Kijinsen, and basically for the bullish vibe to break, we'd have to break below this level here. Okay, so at this stage, this is just a retracement of this move up. So we've had a move up, a retracement, move up, and now we're having another retracement. So this is kind of the lay of the land at the moment. The other level that's going to be important is a daily Kijinsen, which is here. Okay, so those are the two levels to the downside that I'm watching for. And the last thing we need to do is just take cognos of, okay, now we need to draw it from there to there. Right, so price did bounce off the 50% Fibonacci, and the 60% Fibonacci lines up pretty much with the daily Kijinsen. So that to me is definitely, those two levels there are definitely the key levels to watch. Right, 4 hour, and there is a diagonal trend line that we need to add here, and it extends from there, intersects there, and does that. Okay, so this is a very interesting zone that we need to worry about at the moment. Now, this green candle that we saw here on Friday, I think to me that is really just profit taking. So of the guys that were short, took their profit at the close of the week, not wanting to leave it over the weekend. Okay, just kind of what I would do when I've got a short on the Dow. Definitely not keep it over a weekend. We've opened up with a downward move. However, it is the Asian session, and Asia's probably just catching up on the fall that we had on the US markets on Friday. So, what can we read into this? Absolutely nothing at the moment, from my humble opinion. And let me get down to the hour. So there's nothing really here that is jumping out to me at the moment of a trade setup. So I think if you are short, I would basically be moving my stops down. I'd have my stop above this fractional here, and just wait and see how this pans out. If this level breaks, this diagonal level here, if we break this trend line, I'll be looking for a retest of it before I'd go short. Okay, and I could be looking for a long, but it's difficult. I would assume somewhere in this area I'll be looking for some kind of bullish action, but that would break this trend line. But even though it does break a trend line, you would still play the long with the trend line until this break gets tested. So in other words, it can fall all the way down to this level. You look for your long, you go long, and if you hit this level and it sort of rejects it and starts moving to the downside, then you now change direction to shorts, and the trend would be short. But for now, the trend is still up. This is just a retracement at the moment. So we're going to need to watch very carefully to see what happens here. Yeah, I'm in two minds as to what the trade is. I don't see a clear trade setup, so my advice is sit patiently on your hands and wait for something to happen. If we just get down to the 12 minutes, so even a break of this level during the European session would not validate it for me. Okay, I'd need this break and retest on during the US session. for me to be even consider trading shorts with this thing at the moment. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is just really sit in my hands. There's nothing that's standing out to me on, not even on the lower time frames. Yes, we are below the cloud, but we do have these levels. Okay, this is a weekly level, so it's going to take a lot to break through this. So I mean, I'm really not interested in trading a short for 45 points if we get that. So yeah, so I think for me on the Dow, it's going to be wait and see what happens. I do suspect there's going to be buyers stepping in somewhere along the line. The trade war is one thing, but your tech stocks don't really get affected by the trade war. So if you look at the likes of Amazon, eBay, Facebook, I suppose Microsoft would kind of get affected, but also not, because it's a de facto standard. So all those tech stocks, Google, which are rather large portions of the index, I can't see them getting affected by any trade wars. Trade wars is going to be on deal close. So it's going to be retail-based stocks that are going to be affected. And so I think the impact on the Dow Jones for now may actually find some support here. If it does break through here, then I'll start looking at a different setup. But for now, I'm really not going to take a stab at this right now. I'm going to sit quite still and watch what happens, watch what unfolds. So we'll see what happens in the European session. If Europe starts falling and maintains a fall, I think I'll trade the European markets first, and then we'll see what happens with the US Open. But for now, very much mixed signals for me. From the daily, I have a retracement on the daily. It's a bullish. I'm in bullish mode on the daily, and I'm looking for a level to get long again. And it's one of these two areas here that I'd be looking for a long. But if we drill down to the 4 hour, I do have bearish signals on the ichimoku. Okay, so very much mixed signals for me at the moment. So when this kind of thing happens, I tend to move down to a very low time frame and take the trades off the low time frames. Okay, yeah. So for me, there's no firm trade for me at the moment. So I'm going to sit and wait and see how this thing unfolds. These three levels here, so this diagonal plus the weekly Kijinsen and the daily Kijinsen, that is an extremely strong level. So I'd be inclined to take a long off this level here or a long off here. So that's kind of the setup that I'd be looking at. I don't see a short at the moment, not unless you were short from last week. Okay. Anyway, so that's my take on the Dow. Sorry, it's not very clear this morning, but it's kind of typical Monday morning trading. We're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, take care, keep those stops tight, and enjoy the day. I'll catch up with you later. Cheers, man.